Am I the only one that's really starting to wonder if TNA actually cares anymore? Am I the only one that's starting to really wonder if TNA is kind of resigned to their fate? And not so much a fate of that the company will no longer be around in 2015. I'm not going that far because I don't think that that's their fate at this point in time, but resigned to their fate that the TV deal that they'll potentially get is going to be much less than what they've enjoyed with Spike TV, which could dramatically shake up the presentation of the company, the feel of the product, what have you. A lot of what I'm getting and sensing from TNA right now kind of leads me to believe that they've put up the good fight, but it just is what it is, and there's nothing that they can do to fix it, nothing that they can do to change it. And this leads me to wonder if TNA is in that full on kind of semi don't give a shit mode right now. Because to me, it kind of seems like they are. Uh, Looking at Bound for Glory, this show is a couple of weeks away, and they've just now started to announce matches for this show. Now, I don't know if TNA thinks that their talent roster is a joke, if they think that us as fans, we are a joke, if their current creative direction and current situation is a joke, if they think that Wrestle One is a third rate promotion in Japan and Great Muta and his promotion are jokes. I don't know what the hell it is, but it sure as hell seems like that TNA doesn't care about Bound for Glory. This is supposed to be their biggest show of the year. This is supposed to be their showcase of what their company can do. And you're only a couple of weeks away from the show, and you've just now started to announce matches. And even the matches that I've seen, they have very, very little appeal. You still don't have anything announced at this point in time as I'm recording it in terms of a freaking world title match. There's been questions about whether your champion Bobby Lashley would even be booked on your biggest show of the year as world champion. If you're TNA, if you don't care, if you're not going to bother trying, then why do it? It was supposed to be this whole big deal that you were going to have Bound for Glory in Japan. And in theory, there's some positives to it. You're expanding, you're trying to be international with your pay per views, whereas WWE is not. But instead, now you look at it, and it seems like you've intentionally pulled the rug out from under this show. You basically have said that you really don't care about the show. You basically have said either A, we have more important things to worry about, or B, we just don't care about this show. And that's because we just don't care about the show because we're so down in the dumps about so many other damn things going on with the company right now. And I understand that, when times get tough, sometimes you can get down on yourselves. You can start to get negative and it can affect all the different things that you do. But, you're in a type of business with TNA where you have to, please the fans. You have to bring in fans. And if you are going to put in a half-ass effort, as you are clearly doing, getting ready to go into your biggest show of the year, then you are going to, at the very best, get a half-ass result and in return on that half-ass effort. I mean, you're going to expect people to pay a ridiculous pay per view price to watch a show that is going to be tape delayed by many hours. So, spoilers are going to be all out there where a lot of them are going to see it. And you haven't even bothered enough to care to try and make this a big deal, make this feel like a big show. And it almost feels like this is typical TNA in a lot of ways. You've got your biggest show of the year. You fail to market it. You fail to promote it. You fail to advertise it. You fail to set up to it. You fail to build up to it. Instead of getting somebody involved like a New Japan Pro Wrestling when you're in Japan, you go with some fucking third rate operation like Wrestle One. And I'm sorry, that's exactly the way it is. That's TNA. This is the type of TNA that instead of bringing in, let's say, a Snooki from the Jersey Shore or a Situation from the Jersey Shore, they brought in, what was it, that Angelica bitch that nobody gave a fuck about, and they paid her like $15,000 to run up head to head on that show after Bound for Glory 2010. They're coming, they're coming, they're coming. So that way you could sit there and pay her $15,000 to do nothing, so that way people didn't give a fuck about it. If TNA wonders why people like me are going away from the product, if TNA is wondering, like people like me, are tuning into their product and buying their merchandise and buying their pay-per-views, it's because of bullshit like this. At a time where the wrestling business and wrestling fans are desperately, desperately seeking a company that can encapsulate many different things and be that go-to company. Instead, we get fucking ROH, which is nothing more than ninjutsu karate bullshit. You get freaking TNA, who, instead of being the hybrid that maybe they should be with their own identity, you don't even know what the fuck they're doing. And then you get the WWE, and let's not even fucking go there with that abortion of a company right now. Again, if you're not going to put in the effort, if you don't care, then don't expect good results and don't expect us as fans and as people to care. And this is the type of shit that makes me sit there and say, no, you know what? I don't care how it sounds. For the people involved in that company, for the people that work for that company, you get whatever the fuck you deserve. If you're going to put forth this half-ass effort, then I no longer feel any sympathy for you. I no longer feel sorry for you. And I'm glad that I've stopped watching your product, and I'm glad that I don't support or advocate for your product anymore. Why should I even sit there and spend a moment of my time praising a company that seems to flat out be resigned to their fate and doesn't seem to want to give a fuck, especially heading into what is supposed to be their biggest damn show of the year? It's terrible. You thought shit was bad under Hogan and Bischoff, and by God it was. Look at TNA in its current incarnation and tell me how it's any better. Oh, the matches are better. The matches are better. Let me guess, lots of matches with no story and no purpose to them with a lot of stupid-ass fucking finishes. Duh. That's TNA for you. Again, TNA. Just because it seems bad, just because it seems like you've lost a lot of hope, if you give up, you're not going to get the results that you want. You're not going to get the results that, frankly, you need. Times to get your head out of your asses and salvage Bound for Glory and try to salvage this damn company.